strange and bizarre things, 100% in the only country where men are allowed to have affairs abroad. Welcome back to Enigmatic Echoes, where we embark on journeys to strange, remote lands that few have had the chance to set foot in. Today, I'll take you through the veil of dust, past scorching hot winds, and deep into a land whose very name sparks curiosity, Arabia. Do you think Arabia is just desserts, camels, and oil? Oh no, not at all. Behind that harsh, sun-scorched exterior lies a mysterious, unique, and even somewhat bizarre world. A place where culture is deeply religious, laws are unimaginably strict, yet it hides countless things that leave us wide-eyed in amazement. Did you know that things considered normal elsewhere are absolutely forbidden here? Or have you heard of an Arabian Sea with a vibrant underwater ecosystem, like paradise? And why do women here face such strict regulations that they seem to come from another world? This country is not only home to Islam's two holiest cities, Mecca and Medina, but also a land of mystical tales, unique lifestyles, and rules that anyone visiting must memorize to avoid breaking the law. So, what makes Arabia so different? Is something hidden behind the veils and dense desert curtains? Join me on a journey to explore 7 strange and bizarre things unique to Arabia. I bet this video will take you from one surprise to another. What are we waiting for? Let's get started right now. Half-hearted marriage. Men are allowed to love without taking responsibility. Live together, no financial support, but it. It sounds like a movie, right? But it's a reality happening daily in Arabia, where men can freely love and marry another woman, then casually return home to their first wife as if nothing happened. This special type of marriage is called misyar. It's a legal form under Islamic law, where the woman voluntarily gives up some basic marital rights, like cohabitation or financial support from the husband. It sounds like an unfair game, but strangely, many women are willing to participate. From divorced widows to older singles seeking intimate relationships without strict ceremonial constraints. Do you wonder why women accept such marriages? That's because they don't. Others want to escape the pressures of traditional marriages, which are heavily patriarchal. For them, misyar is like a pass to love without sacrificing freedom. For men, especially those already married, misyar is like a loophole to have additional wives without complications. No need to worry about housing or money, just love and visit when desired. In Vietnam, we call this a mistress, an adultery, keeping a lover, sneaking around, etc. But in Arabia, this is completely legal and open. To help you understand better, I'll share a story about a 40-year-old civil servant in Riyadh. He said this. He has maintained a misyar relationship with a widow over 30 for 2 years. He has a first wife and 3 children but can visit his misyar wife without anyone blaming him. Hearing this, many men might admire it, huh? However, anything easy comes with hidden flaws. Many women in misyar relationships are abandoned when pregnant, having to go to court to claim rights for their children. Some children are born without paternal recognition, just because the father sees misyar as a legal anonymous game. That's why Arab media is increasingly concerned about the rise of this marriage model. As society begins to witness real consequences, from broken families, unrecognized children, to the erosion of husband and father responsibilities. But then, in the context of Islamic law allowing men multiple wives if treated fairly, misyar becomes a legal escape for those unable to marry a second wife traditionally. A cleric in Riyadh even admitted that misyar helps men reduce the pressure from polygamous marriages. So, in your opinion, is missy art truly a form of freedom or just a legal cover for adultery? And does love without commitment really exist? Or is it an excuse for unfairness and selfishness in a relationship? Don't hesitate to leave comments below for us to discuss this controversial topic further. In many parts of the world, inviting friends over is as common as daily meals. In a traditional Arab country, Dawn. Because that could stir up an entire family. Can you guess why? In Arabia, most houses have 2 doors. I said most, not all, so don't misunderstand. Simply put, it's only for families following Islam. Of course, it's not for convenience of passage, a centuries-old unwritten rule. 1 door is for men, guests, friends, and brothers. The remaining door is reserved for women in the family. Fight together. In many Arab countries, women are absolutely forbidden from receiving male guests at home. Even if they are longtime friends or acquaintances since childhood, as long as the guest is male, there is no sitting in the same space. Many of you ask, why is it so strict? The reason does not lie in Arab women being unfriendly, but in a very private detail, which is the matter of dressing at home. Women here, when in the family space, often dress extremely comfortably, without headscarves or fully covered clothing like outside. Those everyday moments are only for the eyes of the husband, and only the husband. So when guests come, especially male guests, the women in the house almost disappear. They will retreat to a private area, not engaging in conversation or interaction. If they want to say something to their husband, they call, text, or ask someone else to relay the message. It sounds paradoxical to Western culture, but in Arab countries, it is considered completely reasonable. It is part of the culture, an invisible wall protecting the honor and privacy of women. Even the architecture of houses here is specially designed to suit this lifestyle. 1/2 of the house is the men's area, where guests are received and important matters are discussed. The other half is the women's area, where they live, care for the family, and absolutely keep their distance from strangers. It's truly strict, my friends, which is why I say Vietnam is still the best. Dancing excessively is illegal. In many places around the world, music and dance are a common language. No translation needed, no rules, just emotions. But have you ever imagined that an innocent dance, even in the rain, could get you arrested? If you don't believe it and have never thought about it, then listen to me continue. The story begins at a music festival in the city of Taif in 2017. Amid a lively atmosphere, rain unexpectedly poured down. A famous host and actor named Abdallah Al-Shahani couldn't contain his emotions and danced right in the refreshing rain. A moment that seemed very ordinary, very human, quickly became the focus on social media. And then, the unexpected happened. He was arrested. Not for causing disorder, nor for dangerous behavior, but just for dancing too much. But hearing this, you probably still don't understand why dancing leads to arrest, right? To explain it simply, it's because the Anti-Drug Committee of the Saudi Interior Ministry banned provocative dance moves, citing their association with the use of stimulants that cause excitement. Yes, you heard it right. A dance can be considered a sign of drug use. And since then, any behavior deemed too enthusiastic with music could become a reason for you to get into trouble. If you think that's just an isolated case, then keep listening. In October 2019, a woman in Riyadh found herself in a similar situation. Famous didn't. However, when a video of her dancing spread online, she was immediately accused of violating morals. That's really hard to understand, ISN. Dancing, which is an essential part of global music culture, is almost completely banned in Saudi Arabia. while in other countries, people dance for entertainment, to connect, to be true to themselves. Here, every body movement can be monitored and judged by strict moral and legal standards. What do you think about this? Does controlling emotional expression help make society safer, or does it, on the contrary, limit personal freedom?
Women wanting to travel must ask their husband's permission.
Have you ever imagined yourself wanting to travel abroad, excitedly planning, booking flights, choosing hotels, packing your suitcase? And then at the last minute, your husband doesn't allow you to go? Probably not, right? But you know, in this oil-rich land, women from birth until they close their eyes must live under the permission of a man, called a guardian. When young, the father makes all decisions. When grown and married, that authority transfers to the husband. If the husband is no longer, then the son or a male relative takes over. It gives me goosebumps just hearing it. Do you think they only need permission to marry or have children? No, they must ask to work, to see a doctor. Even traveling, whether for work or leisure, requires the guardian's approval. Many people hearing this will probably be wide-eyed and say,
"What, are women are second-class citizens or something?"
Well, no, they're just ordinary women. But that's not all. Not only do local women face constraints, but female tourists can also be affected by these heavy discriminatory regulations.
There was a case where a female tourist was happily entering a restaurant but was asked to wait outside so the male driver could order for her.
Why? Because women are not allowed to enter. Another girl was outright refused service simply because she was a woman.
The vendor told her she had to ask a man to buy it for her before they would sell.
It sounds strange, but there's something even stranger. There was a case where a girl was assaulted, but because she didn't have a mahram with her, she was punished by the court. You didn't mishear. The victim was the one charged.
In some cases, she even received a harsher sentence than the perpetrator, which is right.
So the question arises, why does a country still hold on to such controlling regulations while the world is progressing?
The answer lies in so-called tradition and conservative religious views.
They believe women's freedom is the source of sin. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? Ask our guardian. But is it easy? When powerful and extremist clerics still hold such a large position in society. What do you think about this? If you're a woman, can you imagine a life where you have to ask your husband before going anywhere? And if you're a man, do you think you have the right to decide everything for your wife? Comment below and share your perspective. People never eat pork. It may sound strange, but in Arabia, the wealthiest country in the Middle East, you won't find any pork on any legal dining table. Even if you bring a bit of pork sausage or a can of ham in your luggage, you could be detained right at the airport. Tea just about eating or not eating it. If you've heard of Islamic law or halal, you might know that pork is considered haram, meaning forbidden. In Islam, pork is seen as unclean, even impure. And in Arabia, considered the center of the Islamic world with the holy cities of Mecca and Medina, banning pork is natural and without exception. So what do they eat here? They eat lamb, chicken, or seafood, all slaughtered according to strict halal rituals. Even the knife used for slaughter must be thoroughly cleaned, prayers recited during the cut, and the slaughterer must be Muslim. Teaming the cuisine here is poor. On the contrary, the most traditional dish is kuzi, a fragrantly stewed young lamb served with spiced rice. They had kebabs with rolled chicken or lamb, Seafood rice dishes like makbis are also specialties, especially in coastal cities. If you think without pork, at least you can drink beer for fun, then I must say no. Arabia also strictly bans alcoholic beverages. Instead, they have a unique coffee
Called Turkish-style coffee, strong flavor, brewed in a copper pot and often mixed with cardamom.
One sip keeps you alert for hours. Many might wonder if anyone secretly eats pork despite the ban. The answer is yes, but it's very rare. If caught, the punishment is severe. From fines and confiscation to deportation. So almost all residents and tourists are very self-aware. Therefore, if you ever visit Arabia or any Islamic country, remember that Muslims do not eat pork. LGBT is strictly banned. In many countries like the US, Canada, or Brazil, homosexuality or same-sex marriage. You can easily see same-sex couples living happily, getting married, and even having equal rights with opposite-sex couples. But in contrast, in Arabia, things are completely different. Here, homosexual behavior is not only illegal, but also considered an extremely serious crime, leading to the harshest punishments like flogging, life imprisonment, or even execution. In a country where law, religion, and tribal customs penetrate every corner of society, same-sex relationships are not just illegal. About any individual, it protected by an extremely conservative religion, Wahhabism. What shocks many is that LGBT rights in Arabia are almost non-existent. Lesbians, gays, bisexuals, or transgender people all face a series of legal, social, and psychological difficulties. You can imagine the tension when every loving action expressing their identity must occur under strict surveillance, even risking arrest or cruel punishments. You might wonder why this country is so strict. The answer lies in the combination of harsh laws and traditional social norms that have existed for centuries, particularly Wahhabism, a branch of Islam known for its extreme views in maintaining societal purity and orthodoxy. Therefore, if you are an LGBT person in Arabia, life is not just a personal matter but a battle against legal prejudice and invisible societal constraints. That's why many here must live in secrecy, avoidance, or find ways to escape the shadow of this oppression. The first country to have religious police. You know, in today's era when many countries are open and culturally diverse, there is still a place where every step you take is monitored by a special force called the religious police. Arabia is one of the rare countries that still maintains this force, and they are not merely police but guardians of morality for the entire society. Streets are not only watched by traffic or security police but also by patrols called Hayar or Matawan, constantly reminding you to wear proper attire as required, not to wander with the opposite gender, or to strictly adhere to religious regulations. Moreover, life here revolves around religious rituals. Every day, people must attend prayers 5 times. It sounds simple, but with the religious police strictly monitoring, avoiding or non-compliance is nearly impossible. Shops and businesses must close several times a day so everyone has time to perform their prayers. And you know, their weekend is not Saturday and Sunday like many other countries, but Friday and Saturday, as Friday is considered the sacred day for Muslims.
Furthermore, Saudi Arabian culture is highly distinctive and centered on religion. There are only 2 widely recognized holidays: Eid al-Fitr, the biggest holiday lasting 3 days with gift-giving feasts, and Eid al-Adha.
These occasions become the most important times of the year, where people gather and strengthen family and community bonds. Do you think life bound by such regulations lacks color? Indeed, the culture here is quite monotonous in religious expression.
Buildings, festivals, and public events all bear a strong Islamic imprint.
and there is almost no presence of other festivals like Christmas or Easter. Popular holidays in many other countries are not permitted to be celebrated. If you're curious about media and education in this country, you might be surprised to know that until 2004,
nearly half of the airtime on state television was dedicated to religious programs.
Among published books, up to 90% of topics are related to Islam. And many doctoral degrees also focus on religious studies. Particularly, in the public school system, about half of the teaching materials are about religion. This shows that religion is not only a part of spiritual life,
but also the foundation of education and culture for the entire society.
Have you ever thought that when religion is prioritized so highly, does it reduce the diversity in culture and people's way of life? In Arabia, non-Islamic festivals are almost not tolerated. This creates a very different environment where everything must follow long-established rules and laws. As for you, if you lived in a society where every moment of your life is regulated by such strict religious laws, how would you feel? Is this absolute safety, or is it suffocating freedom to the point of oppression? Dear friends, known as the land of the two holy mosques, each year Saudi Arabia attracts millions of tourists. However, when visiting this culturally rich kingdom, there are some things you should pay special attention to, as we just shared above. It will greatly help you on your journey of exploration in Arabia.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this entire.
What impressed you here? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to give Enigmatic Echoes a like and subscribe to the Enigmatic Echoes channel so you don't. For now, goodbye and see you again.
Subscribe to the Key and Migo channel to not miss captivating videos.